Hello viewers, you are welcome to Yinky Couture channel. This is where I upload new sewing tutorials. If you are new here, I welcome you. Thanks for all your encouragement all this while. So if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe and also share and like my videos. Today I will be showing you how to draft a dartless pencil skirt. So the essence of drafting a dartless pencil skirt is to be able to cut our 6 pieces, 8 pieces and 12 pieces skirt, because we all know that those type of skirt does not have dart. So in this video I will show you where to put your dart and how to do your hip allocation. So if you are ready, let's get started. The measurements needed for this tutorial is the waist circumference, the hip circumference, and the skirt length and the hip length. So these are the measurements we need for this tutorial. So right now I'm going to input the total skirt length, and the total skirt length for this tutorial is 23 inches. So I'm going to deduct the band measurement. The band is 2 inches. So if I deduct 2 inches band from 23 inches, I will have 21 inches. But I'm still going to replace the 2 inches because my sewing allowance for the waist and for the hemming allowance is 2 inches altogether, because hemming allowance is 1.5 inch and sewing allowance on the waist to join the band to the waist is 1/2 inch. So I have 2 inches. So the total measurement here is 23 inches. Then from there I'll go to the waistline and measure my zipper allowance. The zipper allowance is 2 inches. 2 inches zipper allowance. Then from there, this is where I will now do my dart allocation. I will transfer the dart to the center back. So on the hip line, as you can see the mark there. So on the hip line, I will come on the hip line. As you can see, the hip line carries 6 inches. I'll come on the hip line and measure out 1 inch away from the center back. 1 inch away from the center back on the hip line. Then I'll connect it with the waist. From the waist to the hip line, I'll take my curve ruler. Then I'll connect the points together on the hip line. I'll take my curve ruler and connect it like so. So the next thing to do is to input the zipper allowance. The zipper allowance will follow the curve line. So I'm going to go on the waistline and input 1 inch away from the curve. So I'll go to the hip line too and connect it to the 1 inch away from the curve also, and I will use my curve ruler to connect it like so, like the former curve that is there. So right now the new curve line represents the zipper allowance. So we have the zipper allowance here. Then we'll go to the center back. Down 1 inch intake that is at the center back represents the hip allocation I'm talking about. So the hip has been allocated to the center back. So we have 1 inch. Because we have 2 patterns for the back, we are going to cut 2 pieces. So we have 1 plus 1, which will give us 2 inches altogether. I'm going to subtract that 2 inches from the total circumference of the hip, which will give me 38 inches minus 2 inches, which will give me 36 inches. So when I want to take my measurement now on the hip line, the measurement I will take is that I'll place my tape rule on the center back. I will not start from the curve. From the center, as you can see, I'll place my tape rule like so and measure my 36 inches, not 38 now. 36 inches divided by 4. So I'll go to the waist also. The waist would still be the normal waist measurement. 28 divided by 4 will give me 7 inches. So I'm going to input 7 inches there. Then I will add my sewing allowance. Because I'm not using lining, the sewing allowance will be ½ inch. I will do the same on the hip line. Then I'll go and take my hip curve ruler and connect the points together. So before I do that, I need to draw the straight line to represent my hip line. I'm supposed to have done that. So I'll now come and use the hip curve to join the points together, like so. So I have my back bodice drafted out right now. This is my back skirt. So after that, the next thing to do is to cut the pattern out. So the next thing to do is to cut the front pattern. So the front pattern is not difficult. We are going to use the back to cut the front. So I'm going to fold on the center back line. I'm going to fold on the center back line because I only need that part to cut the front pattern, because there is no zipper allowance on the front pattern. So I'm going to mark like so, trace it out. So after that, I'll come to the center front and mark ½ inch, then come down by ½ inch here. The essence is to make sure the skirt align with the waist, so it won't be a straight cutting like that. So I'm going to use this hip curve to connect the point from the side waist to the center front. So after doing that, I'll replace it like so, then I'll cut it out. So I have the front pattern for the skirt and the back skirt ready. This is the front and the back skirt. It is ready right now. As you can see, the waist is different from each other. So if I want to cut my band of 8 inches for the front, as I have measured it, I'm going to measure it out here, but the measurement will be different. After placing my ruler and I mark 8 inches out, I'll come up on that 8 inches that I marked. Because I came down on the center front by ½ inch, I'm going to replace that on the band also. I'm cutting the back for the front now, the band for the front. So I'm going to go up by ½ inch there. I will mark it. I'll mark it out, and after marking the ½ inch out, I'll connect it to the center front with my curve ruler. I'm trying to make the band for the front pattern, so it won't be a straight band like that, for it to be able to sit well on the waist. So I'll now measure the width of the band. The width, since the width is 2 inches plus the sewing allowance, I will have 3 inches. So I will measure 3 inches all through. So after measuring 3 inches all through, then I'll connect it with my curve ruler. I'll connect the points together with my curve ruler. I'll measure it. What I'm trying to do is to measure first, measure the 8 inches on the waistline. the initial 8 inches that I have. I'll measure it out. Then I'll check if the width is still correct. So I'll connect that one with a straight line. Then I'll use my curve ruler to connect the points together, like so. So this part will serve as my center front. So I will label it as my front band so that there won't be a mix-up. So the next thing to do is to cut the band, the waistband for the center, for the back skirt. So I'll measure the waist, and what is there is 9 inches. 9 inches is the measurement that is on the waistline. Then I'll measure that on a straight ruler. That one does not need any curve. So I'll cross-check the measurement, 9 inches. So after doing that, I will measure my width. I will measure the width of 3 inches, as I have told you, with the sewing allowance, ½ inch on the upper side and ½ inch to join it to the waist. So the 3 inches will be measured out. On a straight ruler, I'll connect the points together like so. The back is very easy to cut. The back band is very easy to cut. Then I'll connect it like so. So the next thing to do is to cut it out. So I have my back band. The back band is ready now. So this is the band with the skirt pattern. This is the front, as you can see, and this is for the back. So we have our pattern ready. Our dartless skirt pattern is ready now. So I have labeled the center front and the center back so that there won't be a mixed up. So the center front will be cut on fold. So after doing that, I have used it to cut my fabric. So I have my fabric cut out the same way I cut my pattern. So the band will now be cut out in duplicate, so that I'll be able to turn it. I'm going to turn it. So I'm going to turn like so. I will stitch like so. I'll stitch the two together like so. So after stitching it, I'll turn it to the other side and use the method called stitch in a ditch to place the band on the skirt, to place the band on the waistline. I will use the method I just told you to place the band on the waistline. So this is my zipper allowance. If I like, I may put my zip on the zipper allowance, and if I like, I can utilize the side zip. So for this tutorial, I'm using the side zip. I'm not using the center back for my zipper allowance. So let's go to the machine and join together. Right now, this is the outcome of my dartless skirt. As you can see, it came out nice, and you can see the fitting of the buttocks is very lovely. You can use this method for any type of fabric and it will come out as nice as this. So you can see the band. The method I use is a stitch in the ditch method to join the band to the waist. So we have come to the end of the tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share my videos. And if you have any question or observation, don't forget to leave it in the comment section. I'm going to reply as soon as I see it. See you in my next video. Bye for now.